In this lesson, we're going to learn about rational numbers. So what are rational numbers? So rational numbers are numbers that can be written as a fraction of two integers. So a and b must be integers. And if you don't remember what integers are, they are in my other videos. So go check that out if you're not sure. But essentially, rational numbers are fractions or ratio of two integers. So rational numbers can essentially include fractions, integers themselves, and decimals that terminate, which means to end, or repeat. So let me give you some examples. Let's start with, so let's use this. So 1 over 3, for instance. So 1 is an integer and 3 is an integer. So this would be considered a rational number because it's a ratio or fraction of two integers. Now, this particular fraction, if you write it as a decimal, it would be something like 0.333 and continues. So the way we write this without writing all the decimals is just to put 0.3 and put a bar on top. So the bar indicates that it continues forever. And then, so let me give you maybe another few examples. So let's say we have just number 5. So this is just a simple integer, but it can also be expressed as a fraction. So it can be 5 over 1. It could be 10 over 2, and so on. So just simple integers themselves can also be rational numbers. And then another example I can give you are rational numbers that essentially terminate. So let me find a good example for you. So for instance, 1/2. So this can be expressed as 0.5. So this doesn't continue. Now you may ask yourself, why exactly do, for instance, 1 over 3, the decimal, continues forever? But 1/2 does not. If you remember long division, you can just essentially take 1 over 3 like this, and then if you do the math, if you do the long division, if you guys want a video, I can create a video on long division on how that's done. But if we go through this process, you're going to realize it's just going to continue 0.333 and so on. Whereas for 1 over 2, it will end. You'll just have 0.5. Another example of one that terminates is 1 over 4, which would be 0.25. Okay, let me give you maybe a few more examples. So for instance, 1 over 9. So this would be 0.111. And it continues forever. And again, remember, we put it like this, we put a bar on top. And then let me give you a few more examples. So let's say, for instance, 27 over 99. Again, this is a rational number because we have two integers, a ratio of two integers. So this would be expressed as 0.2727 and so on. So you write this as 0.27 and put a bar on top, indicating that 27 continues forever. So that's essentially what rational numbers are. All you really have to remember is that they're basically fractions. They're a ratio of two integers. So the top number and the bottom number, so top number being the numerator, the bottom being the divisor or denominator, those have to be integers. Again, if you don't remember what integers are, go check out my last video on integers. So again, I'm building these videos so that we build our knowledge from the basics to the more complex. So make sure to check out the playlist and follow with me so we can go through this journey together. So that's it for this lesson. Again, rational numbers are just numbers that can be written as fraction of two integers. If this was helpful to you, please subscribe, like the video, and leave a comment. Thanks for watching.